see Durant's line is, I think 10 rebounds, career best, 6 blocks, 5 assists. Did you see him filling, maybe intensely or not, Draymond's role there, like where he knew he had to do a lot of different stuff and defend Towns and do all these things that Draymond normally would do?
Yeah, well, I mean, the only thing we told him before the game was that we were going to ask him to guard Towns at times. We knew Looney could do a good job and that he would start on him, but we told Kevin that he'd have some minutes on Towns, and I didn't say anything else about you got to do this or that. He's a basketball player. He knows the game. He knows what's going on and knows what is needed from him. So yeah, I thought he was spectacular. Other than that little drop pass underneath our own basket that I jumped him for, but he was phenomenal.
Was he talking to you?
He was talking to the ref.
Okay.
And he just dropped the ball behind him to Steph. It was an interesting pass, but it was probably his lone mistake of the game. But I thought he was fantastic.
You just not know how strong he is because of how long and low he can kind of look driving, but in the post against a guy like Towns, how he can kind of hold it up.
Yeah. I mean, he's playing more for us than he did in Oklahoma City, from what I can remember. And so he's guarding some bigger guys, and he's capable of doing it. He showed that tonight.
Steve, it looked early on, it looked a little clunky out there, but in the first quarter, I think early second, things started to change a little bit. What do you think were the keys to that change?
Well, we actually started out the game really well. We had, I think, 5 assists right away. We were moving the ball, and then we stopped moving it for whatever reason. And I think mainly it's just not having Draymond out there. It kind of changed our rotation, but it changed the ball movement and the force that we play with. He's handling the ball so often for us. You take him out of there, and it changes things. So we needed to get the ball moving again. And I thought JaVale helped change the game the last 3 minutes of the second quarter. We got a couple lobs to him, and that seemed to open the game up a little bit. And then obviously Steph went nuts and he did his thing.
Did you get what you were looking for out of Looney?
Looney was great. Gave us the minutes we wanted. Excellent defense. He's just a guy who has a good feel for the game. He's a good rebounder. He understands NBA defense. He stays high with his hands, and he doesn't bite on pump fakes. He just does a good, solid job out there. I thought he was great.
With the addition of Durant, people expect, at least the locals, expect a big win every night. You're not going to do that. You had one here 2 nights ago, or 2 games ago, and then you would go to LA. Is this, in other words, the fact that you won satisfying? You don't care how?
Well, I mean, that's the goal, but we are interested in the process and what we're doing, because we know when the games in the spring come, we know what it takes. We've been there in the last 2 years and succeeded once and failed last year ultimately, but we felt what the games are like in the playoffs, and so you try to prepare for all that in the regular season. And so you focus on the process. You try to win the game, but you focus on the things you're going to have to get better at.
Sort of a follow-up. On defense, it looked like they locked in a little bit tighter after that early going, the first quarter there. Specifically, you got it from Kevin, but yes, also from Andre and from even Zaza, which, he did some things on defense that don't always stand out, but tonight he did some things that stood out. What did you see there from those guys in terms of the group effort on defense?
Well, to be honest, I thought Minnesota hit a lot of tough shots early in the game, and we weren't that disappointed at halftime. They weren't making threes. They were making a lot of long twos. They made a lot of tough shots, and I think anytime you play against a team coached by Tibbs, it's just going to be a grind. You're not going to break free and win easily. They're going to, every possession matters, and so to be up 7 or 8, whatever we were at halftime, was fine. We felt good about the way we played. Second half, I thought a lot of the shots that they made in the first, they couldn't continue to make, And so we were pretty solid defensively most of the night.
So, night games, were we expecting more from the bench contribution?
Well, without Ian and Draymond, it was, our bench was thinned out, but we did get a lot of good contributions, and we played 6 people off the bench, pretty significant minutes, and I was very happy with their contributions.
JaVale got those 2 baskets for the second quarter, but it seemed just like his general hustle during that stretch. I mean, it looked like he was running a 40-yard dash every time you guys got a possession.
He's fast.
I mean, you were looking for that kind of energy, I think, that wasn't there.
Yeah. I mean, JaVale gives us that burst of speed. It's a different look, and obviously the ability to throw the ball up in a lob, and which helps our spacing quite a bit. And we decided to give Anderson the first look just because we felt like the matchup was pretty good. I thought Anderson did a nice job, but JaVale changed the game with his speed and his leaping ability to catch the lob.
Is he getting to the point with how consistently that he's not? It's not as much a matchup-based thing, but you almost got to get him on the floor at times.
Yeah. Every time we've called on him, he's done a nice job, and so he's probably earning more consistent minutes. And he's a pro. I mean, he never complained early in the season when we weren't playing him, and he kept working, and his minutes have been sporadic, but he never complains. He just plays, and the guys have really enjoyed playing with him too.
How'd you like the off the 4? He didn't play a ton at the 4, but I know he got some more minutes there. And could you see yourself playing him at the 4 based on what you saw out tonight?
Well, I think he's not going to be a floor spacing 4. He's a more traditional 4 in terms of his size and strength. But not really a low post player, but he's a good passer, so we can put him in the low block and have him pass. He can make an occasional jump shot. But again, if he's playing with a center, those 2 guys are really interchangeable, and I don't get too caught up in whether I call him a 4 or a 5. But he's very different from from Draymond, very different from KD, and obviously we play those guys at the 4 so we can space the floor. We don't get the same spacing with Kavan, but we get a lot of solid basketball. And so I would say anytime Draymond is going to miss a game, Looney will start for us at the 4 because we feel very confident in his ability.